Hi guys, hi Lisa. Welcome to my channel. So right now we're going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Hold on, you guys. I'm making a huge mess of cards. Let me just scooch back. Scooch. All right. Aquarius. I asked your collective energy, what is this reading about? I heard this is one hell of a rodeo. I don't even know what that means. Hi, Deb. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Oh. I wanna swing from the chandelier. You're gonna be swinging from the chandeliers. Card number 37, focus on the light. Usually when this card comes up, it's, something is telling me that you could be feeling as though you're surrounded by darkness, dark thoughts, a dark circumstance. It doesn't necessarily mean you're like in a dark night of the soul, but you're feeling darkness encroaching. Also, when this card comes up, it usually is telling me that you're needing a little bit of a reminder to stay focused on the positive aspects of whatever the circumstances that you're going through. Okay, so, if you're going through something right now, Aquarius or your cross watchers, try and look for what is the positive part of it. What is this doing to grow you? What are you supposed to learn from this? That doesn't mean you're going to ignore that you're angry, frustrated, whatever negative feelings. You're still allowed to feel those things, but don't stay there. Okay, that's the key to minimal struggle when you're going through an ascension cycle. Allowing yourself to feel things organically, but choosing not to stay there for prolonged periods. So your next card is card number 3, inspiration. You are being slightly distracted, but that's okay because you're still absolutely growing. Okay, you're still in the light of your truth. You're allowing yourself to blossom. Your power, which hair usually indicates or is what do you call it? They say hair is where your power is stored. This shows me that you're really embracing this ascension process. This is probably not your first ascension cycle. Will this be a very large one? It will be a significant one. I don't know if it's going to be like the largest one you've ever had. It will definitely be a significant one. It feels like you already went through somewhat of a shift recently, an elevation in your frequency. And so this might be just you being bumped up a little bit more, and then you'll probably be allowed to rest for a period before another massive ascension cycle begins. I do feel a massive cycle is coming. Okay, Aquarius. With this, the frustration you must be feeling, it's a very draining thing to be consistently frustrated, upset, things like that. Card number 38, restore and replenish. You're surrounded by messages from soul. And because you're kind of just over this whole process right now, you're not really listening. And that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes what needs to happen is you need to just kind of rest and block it all out for a short time. And then you can get back to, listening and really getting that guidance from soul. But it's perfectly okay if you want to take a little bit of time to just quiet down and just, I guess, vegetate for a little bit. That's okay. All right. You have to be compassionate with yourself. Now, the key to all of this is what? It's by the buttons. And what do buttons do? They hold it together. You have to hold it together. Okay? You have to make sure you don't allow yourself to be pushed too far either way, whether it's too far positive, too far negative. Just kind of allow yourself to marinate in the middle. You don't want to get pushed too far positive, because let's be honest here. Usually, and there are exceptions, okay, but usually when someone is nothing but positive all the time, that's some fake shit. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna be real honest. If someone is positive all the time, that's some fake shit. Okay. There's a lot of things that they bite and don't speak up on. It's just like they're so afraid and so concerned about how everyone else is going to take it that they're not truly living. That's not who you are, Aquarius. I'm not talking bad about those people, but that's really, that's not realistic. I'm a very positive person, but I'm also very real. I will get mad. I will say things. And is it always the right thing? No. But I feel like I deserve to be able to be a human being and feel things. So that's the key, allowing yourself to feel, being honest with yourself, and just really let people think whatever they want to think. They were going to think shit about you anyways. That's what I've found in life. There are people who exist simply to look for ways in which to tear you down. Those are the kind of people that will think badly of you. Okay? And that's fine. That's who they are. They're basically your shadow cheerleaders. It's from their shit talking that you are inspired to continue climbing higher. So that's all they are. Let them serve their purpose. Let them encourage you in their ugly ways to climb higher. But you're not a faker, okay? You speak your mind. See, we're all elevating. All of us are elevating. That this card keeps coming up. This basically the whole day already. It's been coming up. All right. So card number 34, 10th house, the world. This is Capricorn energy with the 10th house. This is about appearances. You're elevating. Okay. Screw how you look. It's one of those. It's one of those things where, is it more important to look good, to look like you know what you're doing, or to actually know what you're doing? And there's a huge difference in those two things. Okay. So do you want to look like you're evolving, or do you want to actually evolve? Because the act of evolving is a very messy process. Okay. It looks very, very messy. I mean, look how hot messy I look at this point. I'm in the process of a massive ascension cycle. It's going to be a hot ass mess. It's going to be emotional. There's going to be lashing out. Is that okay? No, it's not okay. Do I have to control myself and be aware, be cognitive of the things that I'm saying? Yes. Does that mean I have to shut myself up and not say anything? No. So Aquarius, this is kind of where you're at, where, yeah, things are kind of doing their thing. It doesn't necessarily look very glamorous, but it is what it is. You're rising up. You're actually in the act of evolving. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay. People who are afraid of evolution, afraid of change, they're not going to appreciate, no matter how pretty you try and make this evolutionary step look. They're not going to appreciate it. Okay. They're going to try and tear you down. And that's okay. That's their cross to bear. Let them carry that on their own. So card number 52, void of course, moon, missing. Do I want to read this? I think this, hold on guys. Let me go ahead and find this card. All right. The moon is a friend for the lonesome to talk to. All is not as it seems. This void of course moon card can be daunting. It may not be a good or appropriate time to answer your question. As it is now, the results may not be what you want. So again, this goes back to the whole like messy vibe of ascension. Ascension is if we're going to really be honest, ascension is the act of self-destruction. Because what's happened as we have been, living our lives as humans, we're born, we are who we are, and then we're toddlers, and then we're told you can't be that. No. And so we internalize that, and we begin to create facades of versions of us that other people expect us to be. And ascension is the undoing of that. It's the destruction of the parts of us that we think we know, because these are the faces, the masks we've worn since childhood. And so it's a deconstruction. It's messy. If you've ever been to a construction site, it's a messy thing. But at the end, once all the debris is cleared away and you're able to rebuild and finish, it's so beautiful. It's functional. It's not just something that's there. You're so much more than just something that's there. So it can be used to your benefit. So keep this in mind when this card shows up. You can work on something you really don't want to, and you can interact with people you don't really want to. People you don't really want to become a fixture in your life. And you can embark on anything new or untried that will possibly go wrong. When this happens, if you agree to plans you don't really want to come about, then it will very likely not come about. So it's like knowing that it's going to all go to poop. So, you could just try it so that you could have the experience and you don't have to commit to it. I don't know why that's hilarious to me. This has to do with Eight of Cups. It's about silence, failed judgment, false readings, wasted effort, the wrong choice, missed opportunity, recovery. So if you're one of those people that really needs to always go, 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 always be doing something, this void of course moon for the second half of June might be a good time for you to practice participating in the things you didn't want to be a part of anyways. All right. Card number 38, Earth element, stability. Who doesn't want stability? I mean, everybody wants stability. Everyone. That's the whole goal of all of this domestic stuff, is to create stability. Every moment and every event of every man's life on earth plants something in his soul. So you're actually a walking garden. Okay, you have all these seeds planted in your garden, and depending on what you water, that's what's going to grow. And be careful of watering the weeds, okay? Sometimes the weeds are things we don't want, and sometimes the things we need are for some reason called weeds. Take dandelions, for example. Those are called weeds. They're a very common weed, but they are so nutritious. They actually are medicinal. They're so good for your body, yet we toss them away. We think they're weeds. And really, watch what you're watering. Okay, regardless of the label you place on it, regardless of how pretty or unpretty it looks, not pretty, make sure you're watering the things that will sustain you, not the things that are just taking up space. And I think that's kind of the theme of the Aquarius energy. Not just taking up space, making sure that everything is accounted for and usable. It's going to serve you. Only keep the things in your field that will serve you. So this card has to do with the Ace of Pentacles. It's about stability, accepting responsibility, becoming organized, and nature. So right now, your soul is reorganizing everything, okay? Even your thoughts, the way you see circumstance, something that before you might have been like, oh, that sucks. Now you hear it and you're like, that is so not fair. There has to be something else that can be done to make it less unfair. And sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, but just know this change in your perception is very much rooted in your soul's need to reorganize and make a little bit of tweaks to your perception, okay? Let's get you guys a couple more cards. Ow. Okay. Okay. So card number 6, give back. Now, usually your first instinct when you hear give back is like, have I not given enough? Give back to who? Who should I give to? Well, to yourself. You've been giving so much, like so much, and you haven't been giving enough to yourself. You haven't been allowing yourself to receive. The whole give back thing, it's more of receiving, allowing yourself to receive, because the truth of love, it's a cycle. It's a circular motion. As much as you send out, you should be allowing yourself to take back in. And if you're not doing that, you'll exist in imbalance. Okay. So card number 25, learning. Be patient with yourself as you learn. You're going to be asking questions. You're going to experience moments of confusion, moments where you need to know more. Why? And that's okay. It's okay. It's time for you to begin truly learning, not just the superficial things, not just memorization of facts, but a true learning where you can understand the concept, the mechanics of that concept, and apply it to every applicable circumstance. Every circumstance where that particular concept is appropriate, you'll be able to apply it there. And that takes some time. It takes questions being asked. It takes you experimenting with the different options in life. And when you're able to do that, you're able to really undo the limitations that have been placed on you. Okay? So card number 15 is about your growth. You're growing so beautifully. So beautifully. Allow yourself to grow. And look, what is up with the moon? That looks like it might be a little bit of an indicator that the lunar event coming up is tied to your growth. Quite a few of the signs have been experiencing specific cards coming up, and references to the moon and lunar events have been pretty common today. So I think most of us are in a cycle of ascension right now. We're all kind of preparing, if not already in the cycle, we're preparing to ascend. And that's probably because as a collective whole, we're just ready to. Okay. And you guys, we're already in the 5th dimension. People sometimes are like, oh, wait till we get to 5D. We're already in 5D, homie. We are. And I'll explain why. So whatever dimensional level you are anchored at, you experience everything below that. The amount of people becoming aware of parasites, of demonic activity, whatever the heck you want to call it, 4th dimensional beings and their activities. We are witnessing everything below us. Notice how I said 4th dimensional beings. That means we're anchored in the 5th. We're already in 5D. It's just a matter of our minds allowing us to shift in perception and actually see life for what it is. And, it's definitely getting there. It's getting there. Let me get you guys your final card. Let's see. This is a message from your soul to you. Not to me, to you. Yeah, it is going to be a rodeo. Rodeos can be very chaotic, or they can be the most fun you've ever had. It's really all in how you take it. So it's just definitely going to be a rodeo. All right. Let's get you guys a card. Oh, card number 13. This, you guys, look at this. Card number 13, arise. Wings of hope languish from lack of use. When wings dissipate and weaken, life begins to lose its value. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well, not caring about salvation. Listen to the voice within calling to you. Reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. I dance before you in sacred spectacle, hoping to garner your attention. Look at me, I cry to your ailing spirit in despondent flesh. Look at me. If you were to look up, you would see that I am a mirror of your own being, your light, your heart, your spirit, your all. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is a letting go taking place, and you are frightened and uncertain sometimes. But you make this mean something that it does not. It means that you are to turn your head away from what is dying. Do this gently but firmly. Turn your head towards what is living. Look at me. I will show you truth, and you shall laugh your deepest belly laughter with so much glee, sharing in my secret that the only force at work in your life is unconditionally loving divinity. I see in you a divine wild child and sacred heart. You have gumption, guts. You dare to love where others only see pain. You dare to believe that everything will somehow work out where others only see what they judge to be wrong. You see love where others ply fear. You seek freedom where the world still buys into manipulation and propaganda. Don't lose heart. Dare to believe you are right to do so. It is a divine rebel in you that refuses to surrender hope. Give up the fight, perhaps, the battle that comes from a place of fear, but never give up your hope. That hope in your heart, that optimism and patience for growth into love creates a light within you that helps the world see through darkness. It becomes a candle that shimmers contently upon the windowsill of your heart temple. There it is, more obvious even in darkness. Now, this card talks about hope. Don't give up hope. And I say at this point, you've outgrown hope. You've outgrown hope. It's time for you to allow yourself to rise and ripen your inner understanding and allow yourself to finally enter into a state of knowing that everything is actually fine. Everything works out as it should, and no unnecessary harm could ever truly come to you. Elevate yourself. Allow yourself to rise, and once you've risen, push yourself up higher and shine your light as bright as you can. Light the way for everyone else. Okay, Aquarius, this is a very beautiful period of your journey. It's one that can create a lot of confusion, a lot of feelings of inadequacy. And I know that's something you've been struggling with for some time. Now is a time for you to really just know, not question, not have faith, not hope, just know. You know what? Everything's going to be fine. I don't understand it all right now. I really don't, but it's going to be fine. It always is. I always survive it. And you know what? Maybe once you wrap your mind around what I'm saying, start considering doing more than surviving. You've survived everything thus far. Everything that's happened in your life to this point, you have survived. And maybe now, as you step into that state of knowing, you should also step into the state of thriving, becoming more than just a survivor, choosing to thrive. Okay? So I hope this resonated with you guys. If it did, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Turn on that notification bell and join me whenever I go live. So I will see you guys again in a few minutes for my final reading. I believe it's for Pisces. It's for Pisces. All right, guys. Bye.